Most guys think the way to a woman's heart or bed is through compliments. And they're not wrong, they're just not entirely right. Telling a woman she's beautiful, that's fine. Telling her she has stunning eyes or a sexy smile, also fine. But here's the truth. Women hear those things all the time. Every average guy with a bit of confidence says them. What they rarely hear is a man who actually sees who they are beyond the surface. That's the shift. That's the moment everything changes. When you look at a woman and say something that makes her feel seen, not just looked at, it opens a different door. And that door leads somewhere most men never even get close to. You want to say something that speaks to her identity, her essence, her energy. Because the words that drive her wild aren't just about what you see, they're about what you notice. Imagine you're on a date and instead of saying, "You're gorgeous," you lean in a little and say, "You know what I really like about you. The way you light up when you're passionate about something, it's contagious." That moment, that comment, that's what gets remembered. That's the line she'll replay later. Because now she's not just feeling attractive, she's feeling understood. That's rare. That's magnetic. It doesn't even have to be deep all the time. It can be playful. "I love that you're low, key competitive. It's sexy." Or, "I notice the way you talk to the waiter. You're kind even when you don't have to be." That says something about you. These kinds of observations do two things. They show you're paying attention, and they reflect a deeper kind of intimacy. You're not just scanning her body. You're tuning into her character. That alone separates you from 95% of the guys out there. Here's why this works so well. When a woman feels seen, her guard drops. The part of her that's used to being judged, measured, or objectified, that part finally relaxes. And when she relaxes into feeling safe, feeling appreciated, and feeling noticed, her desire can show up fully. Not because she's being seduced, but because she feels free to lean in. She feels safe to want you back. Now here's the twist most guys don't realize when you genuinely see a woman. She'll often show you sides of herself that she's not even used to showing. You become the man she wants to open up to. And trust me, when that happens, when a woman emotionally opens, it's only a matter of time before everything else follows. Attraction turns into connection. Connection turns into chemistry. And chemistry, that turns into something a whole lot more physical. It's not about pretending to be deep. It's about actually caring. Most men are trying so hard to get something from a woman, they forget the most powerful move is to give her a new experience of herself. One where she feels like more than just a body. One where she feels fascinating, appreciated, and, most importantly, understood. That's where the real heat lies. It's in the moment where she realizes he gets me. Not just the polished version, not just the Instagram version, the real me. And if you can give her that experience, you don't have to try to get laid. She'll want you. Because sex isn't just about attraction. It's about trust, emotion, and feeling chosen for the right reasons. Saying the right words isn't about manipulation. It's about presence. And the most powerful thing you can say to a woman, the thing that actually drives her wild, is simply something that tells her, "I see you." Not just her face, not just her body, her. That's where it starts. And if you get that right, the rest takes care of itself. Most guys throw around compliments like candy. "You're hot. You're gorgeous. You look amazing in that dress," and think they're killing it. But the truth is those words are cheap. They don't land the way you think they do. Why? Because they're vague, they're generic. Any guy could say them and she knows it. But when you make your words specific, when you highlight something real that most people overlook, that's when you become unforgettable. That's when you stop sounding like every other guy and start being the one she can't stop thinking about. A woman doesn't want to just be told she's attractive. She wants to be noticed and remembered. She wants to feel like what you're saying is something only you would notice about her. That's where specific appreciation comes in. It's not just "you're sexy," it's the way you tilt your head when you're deep in thought. It's ridiculously sexy. Or, "I love how your voice changes when you talk about something you care about. It pulls me in." That's the stuff that gets under her skin in the best possible way. Because here's the secret: when you tell a woman something specific you love about her, it shows that you've been paying attention. And attention, in today's world of endless distractions and surface-level dating, is rare. It's powerful. When a woman feels like you're seeing something in her that most people overlook, she immediately feels special. And when she feels special, she starts to open up. That's when desire begins to build. Let's say she's telling a story about her job or her friends or her childhood, and you say, "I love how animated you get when you talk about people you care about." You light up. That one sentence does more than 100 generic compliments ever could. It tells her you're listening, you're engaged, and you're present. And that presence is what makes you stand out. The truth is, women aren't turned on by ego or flash. They're turned on by connection. And connection comes from showing her that something real about her has moved you, that she's had an impact, that you felt something because of her. You're not just admiring her looks, you're admiring her essence, her expression, her passion. That kind of praise hits different. It goes deeper. And when it's real, it naturally builds tension. Emotional tension, sexual tension. It all starts with presence. You don't need to go over the top. It's not about laying it on thick. It's about making the moment count. You might be sitting across from her, watching her laugh, and say, "God, your laugh is dangerous." Say it slowly. Say it like it surprised you. Let it hang. That's what drives her wild. Not the line itself, but the energy behind it. The truth behind it. It's not a script. It's not a technique. It's a mindset. You tune in, you notice, you appreciate. That's it. And ironically, the more specific you are, the more intimate it feels. Because now, she's not just another beautiful woman you're attracted to. She's the only woman in the room you're actually seeing clearly. That creates polarity. That creates heat. And look, this kind of appreciation doesn't just make her feel good. It pulls her in. It makes her curious about you. Why? Because if you can see her in that kind of detail, she starts wondering what it would be like to be with someone who really sees all of her. Physically, emotionally, sexually. That's not just attractive. That's magnetic. That's what gets her to lean in and want more. And when a woman wants more, everything changes. Here's what most men don't understand: vulnerability isn't weakness. It's power. Not in the dramatic, oversharing kind of way, but in the way that makes a woman stop, lean in, and feel something real. If you want to turn her on, not just physically but emotionally, you have to let her feel you. Not your resume, not your bravado, not your perfectly polished lines. You, the man underneath all that. Because when a woman hears the words, "You make me feel," everything shifts. That phrase is a gateway. It's not about being overly emotional or laying your heart on the table 10 minutes into a conversation. It's about showing her that she's had an impact on you and that you're strong enough to admit it. When you say something like, "I don't know what it is, but being around you makes me feel calm," or "talking to you makes the rest of the world feel a little quieter," that hits deep. It tells her she matters. It tells her she's not just someone you're trying to impress, but someone who's already affecting you. And that's incredibly sexy, because the moment you show even a glimpse of your inner world without making it heavy, without needing anything back, you become human in the most attractive way possible. You move from being a performer to being a presence. And in that space, she starts to feel safe, safe to open up, safe to connect, safe to desire. Now, some guys hear this and think it's about putting themselves down or being overly sensitive. It's not. Vulnerability isn't about insecurity. It's about ownership. It's saying, "Here's what I feel. Here's what you bring out in me. And I'm not afraid to admit it." That confidence in your own emotional response is far more compelling than any surface level alpha energy. It creates tension, but the right kind, the kind that makes her want to know you, not just be seen with you. Let's say you're in the middle of a fun, flirty moment, and you pause and say, "You're dangerous, you know that. You make me feel things I wasn't planning on feeling tonight." That line, that's electricity, because now you're not just complimenting her, you're exposing the effect she's having on you. And that vulnerability, when it's wrapped in calm confidence, is irresistible. Most women are used to men trying to impress them. They're used to guys keeping everything controlled and safe. So when a man shows her something unfiltered, when he says something honest that reveals how he's been moved, she feels like she's witnessing something rare. And people desire what's rare. People chase what feels real. You don't need to overdo it, just a moment of real expression. You know what? I didn't expect to feel this connected to you so quickly. That sentence alone creates depth, and depth is what separates short-term attraction from unforgettable chemistry. It shifts the energy. Suddenly, it's not just playful banter. It's something else, something charged, something personal. And that's what makes her want more. Because when you're strong enough to share how she's affecting you, you're giving her permission to do the same. You create a space where desire can actually breathe, where it's not about posturing or performance. It's about being real. And when a woman feels that kind of emotional safety, when she feels wanted and also respected on that level, there's nothing sexier. No game, no trick, no pickup line beats that. So yeah, you make me feel, might seem simple. But in the right moment with the right energy, it's one of the most powerful things you can say. Because it's not just a line, it's a mirror. And when she sees herself reflected in your desire, your vulnerability, your truth, that's when the real magic begins. Confidence is sexy, but you know what's even sexier? A man who knows how to play. A man who can look a woman in the eye, read her energy, and throw just the right amount of gasoline on the fire. Not with cheesy lines or rehearsed game, but with a playful challenge that makes her lean in and smile like she's been caught doing something dangerous. That's where your trouble, and I like it, comes in. Those 5 words, they spark something ancient. They play with polarity. Because what you're really saying isn't just that she's sexy. You're saying you see the fire in her, and instead of backing away, you're walking right into it. That's power. Not dominance, not arrogance, just bold, flirtatious energy with a little edge. It tells her, I can handle you. And that turns her on, because here's the truth. Most guys either overdo it and come off as try hard, or play it too safe and disappear into the friend zone. But the man who can look at a woman, smirk, and say something like, "You're dangerous," with a glint in his eye, while still making her feel completely safe. That guy doesn't need tricks. He is the spark. It's not about the exact words. It's the energy behind them. You could say, "I feel like I should be more careful around you." Or, "You've got that look like you're up to something." And it lands the same way. You're not accusing, you're inviting. You're teasing her in a way that says, "I see you and I'm intrigued." This kind of playful tension creates sexual polarity. It builds heat without needing to touch. It's verbal foreplay. You're not just giving her a compliment, you're creating a moment. A moment that's alive with curiosity, flirtation, and the unspoken question, what would happen if we let this go further? The best part, you're not putting her on a pedestal. You're dancing with her. You're saying, "I see your edge, your sass, your boldness, and I like it. I'm not intimidated. I'm entertained. Keep going." That kind of approval, when wrapped in challenge, makes her feel not just attractive, but exciting. And women love to feel exciting. Desired for their energy, not just their looks. Now, none of this works if it's forced. You can't say it with a nervous laugh or robotic delivery. It has to be relaxed, grounded, real. You have to actually enjoy the moment. The way she teases you, the way she holds eye contact a little too long, the way she tests your reaction. When you're tuned in, the line doesn't even feel like a line. It feels like the only thing you could say. And when she fires back, when she plays along, when she says something like, "Oh, you have no idea what kind of trouble I am," now you've created momentum. She's in it with you. And it's not about trying to get somewhere. You're already there. You're in the kind of moment that makes her body respond before her mind has time to catch up. Because that's what drives her wild, not just being desired, but being engaged. Being challenged in a way that feels fun and sexy, not serious or heavy. You're showing her that you're not afraid of her intensity. In fact, you like it. And more importantly, you can match it. Women don't want a man who tiptoes around their fire. They want one who can dance in it without getting burned. One who can hold eye contact, smile like he knows what she's doing, and say, "You're trouble and I like it." Like it's a promise, not a warning. And when you do it right, when you say it from that calm, grounded place, that's not just a turn on. That's an invitation. One she'll be thinking about long after the conversation ends. There's something irresistibly powerful about making a woman feel chosen, not just wanted, but chosen. And not in a way that feels performative or manipulative, but in a way that feels real, like she's accessing a side of you not everyone gets to see. That's what makes the words, "I don't say this to just anyone," so compelling. When you say that and mean it, you're creating scarcity, and scarcity creates value. Most men operate from a place of overexposure. They hand out compliments, attention, even vulnerability like flyers on a street corner. But when everything is on display, nothing feels special. What truly grabs a woman's attention, what draws her in, is knowing that the connection you're offering is rare. That something about her is unlocking a version of you that isn't available to the world. It might be a small moment. Maybe you've been laughing together, building chemistry, and you let something slip, a softer truth, a deeper observation, and you pause and say, "I don't say this to just anyone." That one line reframes everything. Now what you said carries weight. It has context. It wasn't a line, it was a gift, and she's the one you gave it to. Because what you're really doing in that moment is giving her status. You're saying, "You stand out." You're saying, "You're not just another pretty face. I've felt something shift around you." And when a woman feels that shift, when she senses that she's seeing a side of you others don't, desire comes alive, not because she's being flattered, but because she's being included in something that feels exclusive. This is where intimacy is born. And intimacy, when paired with attraction, is what makes things escalate naturally. Because you're not rushing her and you're not performing for her. You're inviting her into a space that feels private. That space, emotional, psychological, even energetic, is what makes her want to get closer. It's the difference between "you're beautiful" and, I don't usually say this so early, but the way you carry yourself, it gets to me. I don't say this to just anyone. That second version, that's a moment. And moments are what create memories. Moments are what make her body remember you when she's lying in bed that night, wondering what it is about you she can't quite shake. Now, here's what matters. This only works if it's true. You can't fake this kind of connection. You can't use that line casually or drop it just to sound smooth. She'll feel it if you're using it as a trick. But when it's real, when you actually feel like she's bringing something out of you that doesn't normally show up, that's when the line hits. And ironically, the more grounded and casual your delivery, the more it lands. You don't need to dramatize it. Just say it in the moment, as it comes up. "I don't talk like this with most people." Or, "This side of me doesn't usually show up on first dates." Let it be real. Let it be light. Let it be felt. Because when a woman feels like she's getting access to something private, something other people don't get, it creates a deeper layer of attraction. It makes her want to keep exploring you, to see what else you've been holding back. And that curiosity, that's everything. People chase what feels rare, but they stay for what feels real. And when you combine the two, when you give her something honest and exclusive, you're not just creating desire. You're creating a connection that feels personal, maybe even a little dangerous in the best way. And that's what makes her come back, not because she's chasing validation, but because she's felt something with you she doesn't want to lose. There's a moment, if you've done it right, when the energy shifts, the laughter softens, the teasing slows, the space between words starts to feel charged, and in that moment, what a woman craves more than anything isn't another clever line or another compliment. She wants certainty. She wants clarity. She wants to feel your intent without question. That's where the words, "I want you," come in. And when you say them right, that's the moment everything changes. Now, this isn't about saying it 5 minutes into a conversation. It's not a shortcut. This line only works when it's earned, when there's tension, connection, a little bit of mystery, and a whole lot of presence. But when you do get to that moment, and you look her in the eye, hold it just long enough, and say with total calm and certainty, "I want you," you give her something that is unbelievably rare in today's dating world, a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to say it. Not in a way that's pushy, not in a way that expects anything, just truth, delivered with presence. Because what turns a woman on isn't just physical attraction, it's emotional clarity. Most guys dance around what they feel. They flirt, they charm, they talk in circles, hoping she'll figure it out. But real desire, mature desire, is clear. It's not aggressive. It's not needy. It doesn't rush. It simply is. When you say, "I want you," what she hears, if you say it with confidence and respect, is, "I see you. I feel this. And I'm not afraid of it." That level of grounded masculine energy creates a ripple effect. It pulls her in. It tells her you're not just playing. You've made a decision. And decision is sexy. Sometimes it's not even about the words themselves. It's about the moment. Maybe it's late at night, the conversation has gone quiet, and there's this tension in the silence. You lean in, brush her hair back gently, look at her like she's the only woman on earth, and say it low, honest and slow, "I want you." You don't need to explain. You don't need to qualify. You just let the words hang in the air. That's power. Because women don't just respond to physical attraction, they respond to emotional presence, to certainty, to ownership. And those 3 words, when used right, carry all of that. They say, "I know what this is. I'm not confused. And I'm not afraid to show up for it." That level of directness, paired with warmth and intention, bypasses every wall she's built around intimacy. The truth is, desire is magnetic when it's unfiltered but controlled, when it's full of energy but held with respect. And "I want you" is the ultimate expression of that. It's not about pressure. It's not a request. It's not trying to convince. It's simply a truth being shared. And that truth, when delivered at the right moment, ignites something primal, something emotional, something physical. But here's the key. It only works when all the other things are in place. You've seen her beyond the surface. You've made her feel special through your presence. You've shown vulnerability. You've teased and challenged her playfully. You've given her access to something rare. And now you seal it with clarity. Most guys are afraid to be that clear. They fear rejection or that they'll seem too intense. But what they don't realize is that clarity is confidence. And women crave that energy. They want to feel your pull, not just your words, but the weight behind them. So when the moment's right, don't overthink it. Don't second guess. Just lean in, look her in the eyes, and say it with full presence. "I want you." And then let it land. Because those 3 words, said with truth and timing, don't just turn her on. They drop her right into the present with you. And once she's there, that's when everything else follows.